Hello everyone, today we're going to be talking about the Blade Master and Kung Fu Master 3rd spec specialization. So I've gotten a lot of questions regarding on how to switch bracelets, if we can switch our soul badges, our mystic badges, and all of that jazz, and they have answered all of these questions here. However, before I address them, I want to talk a little bit about the skills and the actual class itself. So over here they're calling the 3rd spec the Spectral Blade. And the Spectral Blade, their description over here, is basically more or less as what I said before, it's the waifu build. Because you have a blade mentor which will help you, but when they run out of patience, they'll get mad and it turns red and they don't help you anymore and you're basically locked out of your stance. And over here is a little description of what they do and how to manage the resources. But down here is really interesting. This spec over here, Lucky Stars. I never really noticed this one because I have not played the Chinese server in quite some time. But I didn't realize that this spec of Lucky Stars gives you immortality for 8 seconds and 25% HP recovery on use. So this was very interesting. So I will definitely be testing out this spec over here. I'm pretty sure that the cooldown is increased when you use this spec because being immortal for 8 seconds, that's pretty insane. So I will be definitely looking at these specs, all 3 of these, but Lucky Stars has piqued my interest. Kung Fu Master, of course, is the one where now you can turn into a wolf. It's kind of confusing. It's got like these 3 elements and stuff like that. However, I'm not going to talk about this. I'm going to let Ekajin talk about it because KFM is his main, and I don't know anything about KFMs to be perfectly honest, so I'm not qualified to talk about these things. So I'll scroll down, and now is the main thing that you guys have all been asking for. Is can I change my gear from my fire spec or lightning spec Blade Master into the 3rd spec, or will I need to refarm these tokens? Will I need to refarm a bracelet, so on and so forth? So it says right here, for Blade Masters and Kung Fu Masters, Legendary Stage 10 or Awakened, any of your bracelets, earrings, necklaces, and rings can now be evolved to the 3rd specialization through the Manage equipment with the Spectral Blade emblem or the Iron Claw emblem. So this means that as long as your bracelet is stage 10, you can now switch it immediately to the 3rd spec bracelet. You do not need to farm Master Hong for another 5 tokens to buy another bracelet and spend that money to switch it to the 3rd spec bracelet. You can just simply buy the Spectral Blade emblem and you can switch it. That also applies to your earrings, your necklaces, and your rings. Remember, all of these need to be stage 10 or awakened in order for you to just switch it. If they're not max level yet, you cannot switch them. And you can buy these emblems simply in the Dragon Express for 5 Naru tablets, so it's super cheap, super easy, and I highly recommend anyone who is planning to play the 3rd spec to max out their accessories now, just in preparation, so that when the 3rd spec comes out, you can immediately switch and start enjoying the class to its fullest potential. The next thing is for the legendary badges. So the legendary badges, such as your Mystic or Soul badges at any stage, Awaken or not, will be able to be exchanged to the new badges. This includes the pink one. So if you have the War Song badge or the Wildborn Soul badge, you're able to switch it to the Exemplar Soul badge, which is the new pink badge for the Blade Master and the Kung Fu Master. I can already tell you that for the Blade Master, the new pink badge is going to be best in slot. So you will want to get the Exemplar Soul badge if you are planning to play the 3rd spec for the Blade Master. So I do recommend you to quickly farm for your token so that you can at least get your pink badge, so that when the badge does come out, you can fuse it and get your Exemplar Soul badge as fast as possible. And if you already have a fused badge such as your War Song badge or your Wildborn, don't worry about it, you're able to switch it. However, it will cost you 10 gold and 1 Naru silver. This is not much. Finally is the most asked question that I've gotten from a lot of players out there, is your Thornbreaker or Groundbreaker Mystic Badge. This is the legendary Mystic Badge that you get from Eternity Temple or Scarlet Conservatory. So for this badge, you will be able to exchange it to the Escalation Mystic Badge, which is the 3rd spec Mystic Badge. However, after you switch it over, you will not be able to switch it to any other Mystic Badge. It's a one-time thing. It's you switch from Thornbreaker or Groundbreaker to Escalation, and that's it. You won't be able to switch back. You won't be able to switch the Escalation to anything else. That's it. I still do recommend, if you do have the Thornbreaker or the Groundbreaker bracelet, and you're 100% sure that you're going to play the Blade Master 3rd spec or the Kung Fu Master 3rd spec, then go for it, switch it, and then enjoy it, because it's a very, very powerful badge. So that pretty much covers this newsletter over here. We will be getting the live stream later tonight, and I will be watching it and covering in maybe tomorrow or the day after tomorrow in that video, because I do need some time to digest things and to simplify things and make a TLDR. But I'll try my best to try to get it out to you tomorrow. But yeah, that's it for today's video. I hoped it helped. If it did, I would appreciate a subscribe, as it really does help out my channel. And as always, thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Bye!
What can I say except you're welcome for the heat?